Vostrum city to our roster as well here. And I guess before this siege, that's a perfect opportunity to do a recap here. Basically just give you an update because those castles were nondescript and I probably won't include them. So the Aserai are expanding in the east at the expense of the south. We're losing the south. We're sieging 2 XVIII cities. We just helped the Aserai. Actually, I basically did it all myself. Took 3 different castles before they could even take Odok. We are now over the Northern Empire, and we are now going to try to add Vostrum to our roster. We still only have 1 castle in 1 city. These stupid fucks don't recognize the brilliance of Wazu, and they keep voting in other dipshits to be the leaders of these captains. So let's try this. Let's try less Aserai forces here. Basically, we're going to show the kingdom, the sultan, that we're doing it. We're going to do it all, right? We're going to do this siege of this pretty heavily defended city here by ourselves. This is obviously risky because the Southern Empire force could come out of nowhere and just attack us with 2,000 troops. But Wazu is all about risks now, right? And more accurately, his children are all about risks. He's being pushed to be more aggressive. Of course, we're role-playing, and with more aggression comes more risk, right? So we're going to try to take some cities here, add it to the kingdom, and then we'll see if the pressure from his children to become their own kingdom eventually gets to the big guy. Vostrum is a city that's pretty close to Danustica. It's also Empire City. So if we took it, we would ironically own 2 Empire cities and no Aserai cities. I should explain this component here. Of course, we are Erzenur castles besieged. Damn it, that's one of our other castles, or only other. We have 1 city and 1 castle, and it's under siege. Maybe we can rush there after this. But all I'm doing here, of course, is building trebuchets and then putting in reserve, and now we'll activate them all at once because we're going to try to pound down the enemy counter siege. Wazu has outstanding siege ability, right? So he's going to, his siege engineers, they all went to West Point, or the Aserai equivalent of West Point, right? These guys know all the angles. They've studied Vauban and the other incredible generals and siege-mongering folks from the 16th, 17th century, right? No, obviously this doesn't make any sense, but the point is Wazu is a sieging badass, and we are having success. Both fire catapults destroyed. They got 1 more catapult left. See if they vote us in. Nope, of course not. Everybody else gets the castles except us. And we're doing major work, right? We took 3 of these castles by ourselves, and they're the Aserai, of course, and you guys experience this as well. They're voting in other people for the castle. So we just got to destroy 1 fire catapult, and we just did it. I think this is a pretty good spot to stall, or more accurately, to launch the siege. If you don't know, you can just pick the precise moment at which you start sieging, and I think this is it, right? You don't want the enemy to have multiple fire catapults, and now I don't think they have any catapults. So I anticipate success here at Vostrum. The reason to do that, of course, most of you guys already know, but if you're sieging and they have fire catapults, your siege towers get blown up, right? So we want, and we only have 1 siege tower, but we want it to get to the wall, right? That's usually your best route to win a castle defense, is a siege tower. Although sometimes the enemy doesn't defend the gate, sometimes they don't defend the ladders very well. I find that almost every keep siege is just a little bit different, a little different variation, which is good. What's this motherfucker? This guy, what are you, the Sentinel? You come to know what's coming your way? Well, go ahead and report that, you dipshit. Death, that's what's coming your way, Southern Empire scum. We're taking this city. We're going to add this to our growing list of Aserai cities. The Aserai in this campaign are expanding to the east. It's very unusual. They're kind of ignoring the south, partly through peace, right? We're at peace with Valandia, even though the Valandians have like 3 or 4 of our major cities in Aserai territory. So we've been shoved east, and for whatever reason, right, of course I don't have any control over it, these Aserai lords are picking on the XVIII and the Southern Empire, both of which ironically are larger kingdoms than ours. So I don't know if you can use the term picking on them. Just doing a little bit of sniping here. You can hear the javelins hitting the shields. I don't even need to go look. Our guys are torching everything on the wall. You can see how many projectiles are flying here. With the exception of Britannia, oh shit, I might have like some kind of link or something open. I apologize for the little background noises. I will probably try to take a break after this castle to rectify that, because otherwise you're going to boink, boing, you're going to get little metallic app sounds over and over again right in the middle of these keep sieges. So we will fix that. Apologies. Yeah, these little snafus happen, right? At least I'm not like I don't. There's no picture or no video of me, you know, half naked with my dick hanging out or something like that. I'm sure some dipshit did that with the stream at one point. Can't tell what's going on here. They're all rushing all over the place like it's rush hour and they're all trying to get home before the rush. But these are militia, so they shouldn't be in any hurry to go anywhere except away. Right, these guys are going to get slaughtered. Wazu is literally penning up like 30 of them in this little gatehouse by himself. They don't want to come out and face the wrath of this warlord. Almost as soon as I said that, of course, here they come charging out, and it's Butchery City, right? These are militia. It's no use. They're getting throttled. There's nobody left over here. Let's take a look at the city and see if there's any siege up here. Wazu loves throwing rocks down on the enemy. There's a guy up here. Let's kill this guy on the ballista. Damn it. Oh shit, good job, siege engineers, right? All those West Point graduates. We got all our elite siege engineers. They have just the right angle, right? These guys would be ruthless billiards players, pool, whatever you call it. These guys would be fucking you up. They probably play basketball pretty well, right? Because they have all the angles down and shit. They're making bank shots that you think they have no chance to make a shot. Well, Wazu's going to inflict a little bit of fear, a little bit of fucking hatred here on the Southern Empire, and blow this keep siege open. Open the door here. Although now I'm getting swarmed, probably get killed. It's funny. Sometimes I talk shit and then Wazu gets raked. He's not that badass of a character. He's certainly not like my last character, Zuvan. His two-handed skill is slow, and of course we don't have custom weapons. I do keep that as an option, sort of a reserve option in this campaign because of how difficult we're making this, right through the strengthened AI mod and the powerful heroes mod with these lords having 300, 400, 500 hit points. There's some chance, unlikely chance, but some chance that Wazu picks up smithing again. I get an incredible amount of requests for people that want to know about smithing and Bannerlord. I have a few friends, a few other channels that of people who swing by from time to time that work on smithing, and I may just recommend them. For example, one of the fellas, Angry Goldfish, drops by a lot. That's just his name, right? His little handle. And this guy does a lot of smithing, and he does a lot of high-end, elite, precise smithing, is I guess a word for it, right? He develops like nasty two-handed pole arms and vulges and swords that sort of break the code, right? Break your game in Bannerlord. One of them was a vulge that was just cutting through everything, and yet you could still swing it fast and cut through ability and ride a horse with it as well. Yeah, those little pings in the background, again, I apologize. That's an app that's open. I will take a break, I think, after this battle. In fact, one of the things that I'm reticent to show you fellas is sort of the stocking of the garrisons and the re-evening of armies. Of course, after a keep siege, you got to go in and even out your garrisons and even out your companions. And I don't really want to have you guys sit for that, so I might just cut the editing here and do that. Now, I'm doing this because I'm just sort of scouting out the city. I think it's going to be a good city for defense, but not great, like a B- or a C+. There's not enough room back here. Unfortunately, you can't get troops like up on any platforms or anything like that, and it's very condensed. But maybe 300 archers with a couple hundred infantry might be able to defend this against a huge foe. We're going to go ahead and do this one here. I haven't done a lot of these, and again, I'm not going to do a lot of these for the campaign, but I want to smash some enemies here and celebrate these early keep sieges, right? This is going to be, well, they may not vote us in, I guess, but hopefully this is going to be the second city we add to our kingdom. Smash our way through. Every once in a while I hear someone say they lose one of these. I'm not really sure how that happens. Does the enemy have a bunch of like legionaries inside the city? You know, at the end here, I always just end up facing mostly militia, and of course it's just a complete automatic slaughter, rubber stamp. It's almost like one of those things that Tale Worlds had big ideas for and then just kind of fell on their face and didn't know what to do. Wazu, speaking of not knowing what to do, he's just gonna sit in his throne, make sure it can fit him. What the fuck's this shit? This dipshit Sergeant Crossbow's shooting me. I'm just gonna block him and sit on my throne while my guys kill him. Kill this guy! Yeah, this guy here, maybe we'll make a fucking a robe out of his skin afterwards, right? We'll get Hannibal Lecter fucking medieval on his ass, especially since he just shot Wazu in the neck. This guy here, we may tie to horses and drag him around a little bit. Wazu's sadistic, right? He likes to rule via fear. He likes to rule via fear, fucks, and food. He likes those three things. Make children, scare the shit out of people, and eat everything. That's like his motto. Triple F. Semper FFF. All right, we pick up some prisoners here. And I think I am going to break this. I'm going to stop recording and come back in a second or two, and we'll even things out here. We'll leave some troops in the garrison. That way you don't have to suffer through this entire process, picking up prisoners and stuff like that. Although I guess I'll show you the loot. We'll show you the loot from this siege, and then you will probably see us a little time warp here, bouncing out in front of the city here. See if there's any exemplary loot. Lots of these guys like to see the loot. Nothing too special here. A couple legendary pieces, but nothing really to write home about. All right, so a little time warp here, a little bit of editing. Oh, we're gonna do this too. My troops have been asking me to devastate a few cities. Even though we're hoping to own this city, we're gonna devastate this city. Oops, I think we just lost a companion. Maybe he didn't like us. Maybe this was his hometown or something. He didn't like us devastating this shit. Oh well. Get a little autosave in here, and then we'll be back in a minute. Shit. We're recording now. I might not have caught that. God damn it if I missed that. I mean, I can just tell it to you guys. Of course, it's not a secret, but I don't think I have any message of it. One of my parties can be reassigned. I don't see any message here. Damn. All right. So Wazu just got sick. I don't think I saved it. I looked up. It wasn't recording, of course, because I was breaking these two streams. I exited the city and it said Wazu is on death's doorstop or whatever. So it's weird. I don't see any message about it. Maybe it's almost like I missaw it or something like that. I had this party break up because they I don't know what happened there. I guess raiding and destroying this city here aggravated this guy. I don't see any message. We'll take this companion, but I'm a little distracted here. Wazu is going to die soon. Is basically there's your inefficient news reporting. We lost that party, so I've stuck Cole in charge of it, but I don't have any message that shows. It was almost like a bad dream. I thought I don't think there's a cutscene, but it basically said Wazu is sick. Make sure you have your shit in order, right? Make sure you got your last will and testament set. So we'll race here to Danustica. Oh shit. Look at his health bar. It says green. So I guess his face is green or whatever. That's simulating his face is green. It says 100% hit points. It's been a little while for me since I've been in a campaign and had a companion die of old age, but I think that is imminent here. I don't know if it takes a week or a month or a day or something like that, but well, there's your answer, right? It takes hours, I guess, in this case. Died of natural causes right after that keep siege. You motherfuckers. All right, well, I've talked about this before. Wazu loved Mata, and he left in his last will and testament his heir to the throne. Arwa had his permission, so to speak, her approval for this when the old timer died, because she knew also that Mata was very smart, very calculated. But Ruwa and Cole, both of these two children, the second and the third child, were very upset that Wazu left his kingdom to Mata because she's calculated and she's not impulsive, right? She's very deliberate. Some people would say indecisive. In fact, when people criticize Queen Elizabeth, that's the most common thing they say, and I'm speaking of the first one, not the second one. Although the second Elizabeth also got called indecisive a lot, and this is actually a trait that a lot of women have. And you know, if you analyze it, you would say, well, they're deliberate with their thought process. How come I can't assign Rua? Rua is not available right now. So Rua and Cole are very unhappy with the decision, but nevertheless, Mata is now, whatever we want to call it, the Emir or the Prince of our clan here. For some reason, I can't assign this group, Wazu's former group, to... Where is this group? Where's my army? it looks really weird here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I can't. I just added all these troops into my army. How come I don't have any number above my head? I think this is Wazu's group here. Wazu's army. 204 over 20. We better take these troops. These troops are going to desert, I think. So we'll add these to Mata. We'll take kind of the cream of the crop from his disbanding army. Of course, I guess it simulates he dies and his men are all of a sudden they're bereft of leadership, and so they all run to the local tavern and get smashed and whatnot. So we will consolidate these into Mata. And I'm a little bit in shock if I sound a little bit, a little bit disheveled, a little bit frustrated or something like that. It's always a shock, right? When your companion, your main character, all of a sudden dies. Of course, I was like waiting for it, right? It was inevitable. He was 60 something, and it's actually good for the storyline. All right, so let's see what's going on here. I still don't have a number. This must be a bug. I've got like an army lagging behind me here. I can't even really tell what's going on here. I can't add them. They're invisible. This has to be a bug. This is not from a mod, as far as I know. Yeah. So they already have a clan leader, a leader. I think I assigned one of the companions to join that army, but regrouping. Ruwa's regrouping. Where is she? I know sometimes when you lose your army like that, all your troops, they're kind of in the void, right? You can't access them. They're not findable. They're not enlisted at any towns. All right, so we're just going to motor on here. Not quite certain why we don't have a number over our army's head here, but the first thing first, if we can get to this castle, we're going to defend it. Erzenur, we only have 2 possessions for our kingdom. I'm a little flustered. That's the word I was looking for a second ago. We can add an army or 2 here. I don't want these armies full of nothing but cavalry. Not very effective. We're going to try to get in this castle unless it's a small defense force, right? If it's a small defense force, we'll attack it outside. We got to regather up some of these companions here. I will try to regain my composure here, and in fact, I better sit up straight here. All right, so Mata is in charge now. This is get a little drink here, some caffeine. It's disconcerting all of a sudden. The character you've been playing for a couple months just eats shit, but that's how it works. What the hell? There's tons of Aserai armies that are leaving here. I don't know how come they wouldn't. Whatever you do, fellas, don't help me at Erzenur Castle. Just go the other way. The Aserai in this campaign really are acting like fucking dickheads, dealweeds, dipshits, fucking dyspeptic, fucking termagants. Do something, you fucks. They just don't help me at all. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4? How many armies are here? This is Northern Empire. We better gather a few of these local armies. I don't have a lot of time. It doesn't look like the castle's going to last very long. I mean, 100 troops. That might be... It might fall within the day. So, we have about 700 minus some losses getting in. All right. He won't make it to us. Let's get in. Let's just go ahead and get in. I do know this castle has some defense possibilities. I know this is not very accurate. Ah, shit. I got to get her specs up here. While I do some of these, I'm just going to talk the role-playing side of things, see if I can juggle and chew gum and ride a bike at the same time. So Mata is very calculated. This is probably not the kind of thing a calculated general would do, is to jump into a city that's almost falling to 3 huge forces. But we're going to go ahead and say her younger sister, Ruwa, has been goading her into being more of an assertive, aggressive, domineering leader. So Mata, in this case, is sort of overextending her normal personality. And it's good for you guys, right? Good for the viewers, because we're about to have a gnarly siege. This is over 3,000 Northern Empire forces, and we're going to have like 700-800 troops. We're in and 667, right? So we have 2/3 of 1,000. I'm a numbers guy. I do fractions and decimals and stuff like that. The Northern Empire King is here. Let's do this shit, right? You guys want epic siege? You guys want an epic campaign, right? Are you not entertained? Here we go. Yeah. So this is going to be a defendable a defendable castle. When I took this castle earlier in the campaign, I got distracted by all the angles. This is a really good castle for defense. Not all castles are built equal, right? Some men are longer than others. This castle is outstanding, and I'll show you in a minute here my plan. Try to get these captains assigned. We have very messy captains right now. Our campaign is so disheveled right now. It looks like that guy that hasn't showered in 4 days and slept for 12 hours. Our hair is all over the place. Everything is greasy and smells like onions. Like, we're a mess right now. But if we can pull this off, we can take a deep breath, probably run back to Danustica, get shit sorted out here, have Mata start writing down some rules for these fucking arrogant princes of the bloodline, and get this campaign moving, right? Independence is coming up, fellas. We are going to be our own kingdom, especially with the Aserai fucking paying us no mind. I feel like Joe Pesci in that scene where he fucking starts shooting Spider. What am I, on a pay no mind list, motherfucker? What am I, Mirage? Where's my fucking water? And then he shoots the guy. That's what I want to do to the Sultan. I want to shoot him in the foot. All right, so here's my plan here. I'm going to have a few mixed divisions because, frankly, I would love to have 12, 13, 14 divisions for this keep siege, and I'll show you why. Look at all these angles. These guys can all shoot at these guys coming through the door. We're not actually going to defend that lower part. We're going to defend this upper part. The reason is that all of these guys have crossfire on each other. In other words, the archers that'll be up here, the 4th and 5th, will be able to protect the archers down here. And we'll put some over here too. This wall, you can just put, I think you can put them up here. We can put a big long strip of archers. Now I've got way too many infantry. Oh shit, I just realized we still have the realistic, not realistic, we still have the battle size mods. So look how many forces we have. We have all of our, it looks like 660-ish, and the enemy's going to have 1,400, right? So huge waves of enemy forces pouring in here. This is going to be a very gnarly siege defense. So look at this. Their only access to these troops is up that stairway. Well, we just block it with 70 or 80 guys, right? I'll probably steal some troops from that if it's holding out well. We can put skirmishers here, the first in a square, and we've got a huge infantry block because we have 600 troops on the field, right? We don't have nearly as many archers as I'd like to have, but we'll make it work. And put the 7th over here in a big long line. 6th, 7th, 8th. The 2nd is kind of messy. We'll clean that up in a second. So 4th and 5th over here. I do this for memory's sake too. In a keep siege, you want to know where your troops are. This 8th is a massive mixed corps. So for now, they're just going to be a reserve division. I'll put them here in a giant spread formation. They'll be able to help a little bit there, shooting guys coming up the ladder. And of course, if we get a blowout on that left side, I can have these guys charge. This is suboptimal positioning, but it's okay for now. The 2nd, I want these guys tight in the shield wall. I'm not sure why it won't go into a shield wall. Shield wall, motherfuckers. There we go. There's legionnaires mixed in there, but that's okay. That's going to be an attacking division for the front gate. We could put archers up here and just spray this, what is this, the 7th Corps. Oops. I think I can get these lined up pretty well. Maybe not. That's better. There, I want them. You got to be patient sometimes. I want them in a big, long line. That way they can just absolutely rake everything coming from the main gate. And I think this is pretty good. This is a nice setup. So let's do this Mata. Mata's first chance at being in charge. And stop. I just spread those guys just a bit. I'm getting a lot more fluid at putting troops right where I want despite the system's shortcomings. We've got a beautiful sunset here. We've got a beautiful castle. We've only got 2 properties, right? So this would be like if you own, two. Maybe you're a homeless guy and you own 2 tents, and some other fucking homeless guy is trying to move into your tent. Well, you would drink that 40, crinkle up that crinkle up that paper bag around your 40, and then it's time for bum fights, right? You'd be beating the shit out of that guy to defend your little tent. That's how we're treating this. We are belligerent. We're gonna fight to the fucking death here. I know that's the strangest analogy I've come up with in a long time, but I like it. We're gonna roll with it. It's bum fights for this castle. This castle's ours, bitches. This is our plot of ground for our tent. Don't know why I thought of that analogy. I mean, of course, in America, a lot of homeless encampments are popping up over and over again as people either don't want to work their whole fucking life for minimum wage, or we just have drug use and mental illness rampaging. In America, we don't take care of our sick people, right? They basically, good luck, laissez-faire fucking medicine skills. A lot of the guys watching this are from Europe, and frankly, I think in 20 years, the United States is going to wish it had some form of universal health care, because we're about to have a fucking pandemic of drug use, homeless people, and then just regular old Joes who are bankrupted by our medical system. I could talk about that a little bit here at the beginning of this, because it looks like they're okay. I can't quite hit their RAM. It looks like they only have a RAM, and it's 7,000 miles away. So it's weird. I almost can't see it from here. You guys can barely see it there. I can't zoom in on it. But at least we're getting kills, right? We're firing these flaming rocks hundreds of feet in the air. And it continues to be a political argument, and I'm not going to get overly political, but the bottom line is, if you have poor people that can't get health care, you're no longer a civilized country, right? These people, and I can speak to it from the fire service, it's very bad for a country because of this basic paradox, right? This problem. When people are really sick, they're not just going to go lay in the gutter and die somewhere, right? These people are either going to overwhelm the hospitals with no insurance, or I see this all the time. They call 911 and they just want some kind of help, right? They can't afford to do anything else. We're not allowed to just not take care of people. And Mata's gaining levels here. We've almost got this ram down. If we can take this ram down, this city will be ours. And so we're forced to transport all kinds of people to the hospital that don't have an emergency medical need but have health problems. And these people can't get help. They can't afford it. They can't afford insurance. Insurance in the United States is incredibly expensive. In some cases, it's half of the wages of somebody who's on the lower end of the wage scale. And even though medical care in the United States is obviously excellent, the price for what we pay for it is outrageous. The corporations have infiltrated every single fucking step of the way, and they don't even have middlemen. They have a middle tier, a middle tier, and a third middle tier, an HMO, the insurance fucking advisors, the pharmacy, the PBOs or whatever, the guys that recommend drugs for the doctors to push. Basically, capitalism, runaway capitalism, has totally overwhelmed the American medical system. And unless you're lucky enough, like me, to have insurance covered, medical care covered by our boss, that ours is subsidized at 75%. A lot of Americans have either bad insurance or no insurance, right? And so, of course, they call 911. Make sure these guys don't flame me with a fireball. I've been blasted off a keep before by these fucks with their fucking totally dangerous, irresponsible catapult shots. We've almost got this ram down, but I don't know if I can destroy it. It's like at 30%, 25%. I don't think I can stop it. We could chuck a few more rocks here. Anyways, maybe I'll get back to that subject. But the American people are about to be in a really bad way. Because something like a fourth or a fifth of the country does not have medical insurance. And you're really forced to one of two evils. Either people are literally going to be dying in the street or dying at home with no care, which is totally inhumane and uncivilized, or we're going to have some sort of universal health care. And of course, the political system is completely divided in this country. None of them are going to agree on anything. Even if it's logical, they won't agree just because they're so divided. Of course, the election just recently happened. I won't get political, like I said, other than to say, when things are disunited, everything is harder. You can think about it like a marriage. If you and your wife are already on shaky grounds, every little issue is something that is like terminal potentially for your marriage. If you have a healthy marriage and you guys communicate well and you love each other, no issue is a big deal at all. You just instantly dump arguments. Like my wife and I, we have an argument. It lasts like 7 seconds, and one of us every single time is like, "No, you know what? Never mind. It doesn't matter. You're right. We're not gonna." You know that saying, you pick your battles? Yeah, well, I've picked like 3 battles in 10 years of marriage, right? And her as well. We just back down. Whereas the American system, of course, right now, it's just confrontation to the max, right? Whatever the other side does, fuck them. It's either fuck Joe Biden or fuck Trump or whatever it is. It's a fucking mess. And of course, it's going to have serious ramifications for the United States. And other countries that get divided like this. I know France has some political turmoil as well. Division benefits our enemies, by the way. It benefits China. It benefits Russia, because they can go to their constituent states and say, look, Don't you think a totalitarian, non-democratic system is better? We tell our peasants to be happy, and they are. Otherwise, we fucking take them, you know, to the gulag. We don't have Discord because our peasants don't have any right to say we don't like what's going on here, right? They just do what they're told. I could rant about this shit for hours, but I better get back to the castle siege here. We shall see. And maybe you guys are getting irritated listening to me talk about it. Like I said, I'm not going to be taking political sides. I won't endorse a candidate. I won't say I'm a Democrat or a Republican or a left or a right or a fucking libertarian or anything like that. You're not going to hear it from me, but there is problems to this division. All right, so getting back to the keep siege, we are charging with the second corps here. It's a bunch of skirmishers that are now out of javelins, and the enemy's pouring through the front gate in massive numbers. It's a problem. These are high-level troops, and we're trying to get crossfire on them. I think I can get these archers to the enemies, or to our right. I'll just use our positioning. This is the 6th, 7th, 6th corps, so we can get these guys stretched out here on the right, but they're vulnerable there too, right? This is only going to be temporary. Now you can see the flaming arrows coming in from all these different directions. It's actually really cinematic with all these different angles flaming the enemy. There's purple guys down there getting scorched from every single direction. And of course with the battle size mod, there's so many troops on the battlefield at the same time. I think these archers are in trouble. I'm trying to triangulate this 2nd division to get around where I'm at so that they can get to the other side of this house. This house is good for archers. Fuck, they're getting charged. We got to get this 2nd corps down here fast, otherwise these archers are going to get carved apart. This is archers fighting fucking enemy elite infantry. Maybe I should have left them on the roof up here. I mean, they scorched the enemy there for about a half a minute, but now they're getting torched. The 1st division is barely holding out. The 2nd division is getting up here, and I'm going to split it. You'll see me do this a lot in a battle like this, right? What we're going to have to do is effectively steal from one spot and give to another. And this is something I've learned to do. I was reticent to do it initially, is to use that. That command, by the way, is F3, F5. I'll just say it right now because a lot of people ask later on. God damn it, I annihilated the 6th corps. I mean, I did that to them. Sorry, fellas. All right, this is what I was talking about. These divisions here, this 8th, I'm going to steal some of these guys and add this to the 6th corps. I mentioned earlier that it's going to be basically a division I steal from during the course of this siege. It's a reserve division. It's your auxiliary fuel tank, whatever you want to call it. And just like that, you know, we've sort of restored the 6th division back on this roof. Those guys are shredding. And what's nice is the access for it is the stairs right here, right? The enemy can't get to those stairs. They're going to get scorched. So those guys are quite well protected, just like that other side is protected. There's one stairway to the 2 different archer platforms, or whatever you want to call them, right? Those guys are totally protected. Now we can get some crossfire from the roof up here and keep lighting these fucks on fire. It does suck that we lost those 40 archers, though. We had all 40 archers of the 6th corps killed in that first wave. I'm going to do some shooting here. Get these guys stretched out. And we got to keep an eye on this 2nd corps. Like, it's the 1st corps is almost destroyed. I gotta get looking at the other side here. I'm gonna be using the RTS mode a lot because this gal's really slow. Her athleticism is like 40 or something like that, and it's a long way to go to run all the way over there, right? Get this 8th corps position so they can shoot both sides, and now I gotta get over to that other location and make sure it's going okay there. Get a little drink here. Look at this crossfire. These guys are scorching them, and let me show you what we got going on here. Maybe I can't. I'm getting attacked. Shit. This gal's very delicate. She's no warrior, right? She's the proverbial smart. Oh shit! I'm gonna get stabbed in the back, motherfucker. She's the smart kid who has no fighting ability, right? This is intentional, of course. I designed her to be a general like this, a leader of men. She's gonna make the good, intelligent, pragmatic decisions, and then let other people kill people for her. Steal some more troops here. I need to put troops over on the other side there, protect it, but I've got to have a division effectively just push the way for me, right? So this 1st division, I'm going to be able to effectively use them as almost like a bodyguard division. Come with me, boys. They're leading the way, actually. It almost looks like they know where I'm going. And where I'm going, you can see the arrows raining down there. Remember I put the third core over there? If you don't remember, I'll show you up close. Look at these guys just shredding. It just looks like a laser light show. That's the enemy's backs turned here as they try to get up the stairs. I'm out of arrows, damn it. But what I can do is I can add the first here, and the enemy will either aggro to these guys or they'll get shot in the back. Of course, if they aggro to them, we'll pull them out of here, and it'll take some of the pressure off of those guys there. There's like 40 or 80 or I can't quite tell. 40, 50, 60, 80 guys there defending. That's the third core. And we do have some aggro here. Let's pull these guys back because all these archers here are happy to shoot all these troops that are following us, right? So this first core, just drag it with me. We'll drag it up the hill, and these poor bastard enemies here that are chasing them are going to get scorched. All right, I'm out of arrows. I got to remember this shit. I don't think there's any arrow barrels down here. I got to keep an eye on the other location there, but there's a good-sized square there, and of course, look at that crossfire. Even from a distance, you can see they're getting absolutely immolated. You can just see it. It's awesome with the flaming arrows. It's like a taser effect. You can just tell the machine guns are finding flesh over there. All right, so this first division, we had some losses there, but I think we relieved this third division pretty well. Now, what I'd like to do is push with this third division, push a hole, and get this first division above these guys as well, right? If I can get 100 archers above this axis way over here, the enemy has no chance in hell of getting through this side. See, Mata can get kills, but man, she's weak. So what I'm doing here is I'm just blocking that doorway. You know, we're basically stiff-arming the enemy there, and I'm dragging this first division, and we're going to put them also up on the walls. Come with me. And this is probably one of my favorite parts of Castle Keep defense, because it really is a Rubik's Cube or a complicated puzzle. Oh shit, these guys are thick up here. There's almost too many guys up here for me to add to them. And you see, all these archers are beautifully spread out, right? They're almost every single one of them can shoot. So if the enemy attacks over there, those poor bastards trying to go up those stairs are getting shredded by crossfire. Look at this shit. So I couldn't position them right, so I just tell them to follow me. And then what I'm going to do is tell them to stop and square right now. It's a perfect spot. Stop? No, I said stop, motherfuckers. That means don't move. It's the opposite of move, you stupid donkeys. Look at that shit. And you can just see it perfectly there. The arrows are going right into the back of the enemy. And there's no way around it because the enemy can't reach these guys any other way. So if they try to run this whole distance here, I'm going to do some parkour with this gal. If they run this whole direction, they're going to get shot that whole time, right? So the enemy's compelled to come up here. And if they don't come up here, they're dead, right? They're basically fucked. If you were doing this, if you were trying to siege this, you would give up any attempt to get around this side. Do a little parkour here. Mata, that's part of her profile. You guys didn't know that. Now you know. She's a parkour gal, right? She loves to jump and spin off of shit. Right? We're going to play around a little role-playing here. She's very smart. She's got pencil-thin arms. She's not athletic. She's one of those gals who are like, well, she's a little doughy. She doesn't really weightlift, but man, is she smart. Take a look here. I got a nice little vantage point. Is that a head? That might be a head just laying on the ground back there. Looks good so far over here, right? And you see it's 3 different crossfire over there, above them on the 5th. And then, of course, the arrows coming in from the other side, that's the 7th, right? And so these poor bastards trying to get in through the square are just getting scorched. It's a maelstrom. Now, this is a good sign. These are already low-level units. This is recruits. This is fucking peasants and shit getting shot in the back, shot in the foot. And they're trying to attack a square, and you can see the constituents of the square. I see lots of Aserai veteran infantry in there. There's palace guards in there wailing away with their big axe. The enemy's not getting through there as well. So you can see what we've done is checkmate here. They can't get through here. Any chance they do, they get strafed by 3 different archer divisions. Look at this bull-headed haircut motherfucker coming up. You can eat shit too. Mata is going to get a lot of skill points from this battle. Whether we win or lose, right? She's going to get all kinds of tactics and medicine skill, all engineering skill. Her skills are going to rock it. I think she's level 24. And all I'm going to do is just be a good mother goose. Oh shit. First division's almost annihilated. I'll probably steal from some of the division to give them troops. Mata is, she's careful with their arrow shots. This is not Wazu, right? Wazu is always telling her, oh shit, the enemy Somehow the third corps got blown up. Where's the third corps? I thought the third corps was defending that stairs. I might have fucked something up here. Fuck. Let's call them to me. I don't even know where they are. I can't see them. Oh, are they on the walls? The third corps is on the walls. Somehow I think I know what I did. I think I had them follow me before we... Oh, shit. We're running for our life. Shoot these fuckers. Before we did a little parkour there, I think I had the third corps follow me. That's all right. We'll be able to fix this because at least they're up there defending the archers, right? You can picture it. They're now chasing. They're now heading our way because I told them to follow me. So they're going to run down there, and vitally, that means they're going to intercept all of the enemies trying to get up to those archers. Those archers on the high wall there were starting to get scorched. In fact, they are getting scorched because I removed their little defensive pin here. You know, do not remove pin. It's a safety pin. That's what's going on here. Let's stick that third back there in a square. And I'd like to advance this first division. I'd like to get more units in it because right now I'm using it as an auxiliary division. So I've got all these other units over there. I can basically just borrow from any one of these divisions and just stick it in this first corps, right? Go to the 7th. Don't really want to steal from the 7th. The 6th, we can take a few guys here and just add them to the 1st. There's a companion that looks like a vampire. Her mouth is covered in blood and shit here. Delicately shoot this guy here. Look at him getting flamed by 9 different directions. And again, you can see what you got going on here, right? This enemy is in a checkmate situation. If they come up the ladders there, they're automatically scorched. Whoops. If they come over here, they're automatically scorched. They either have a choice of attacking the third corps there while they're shot in the back, or running by him, and that, oops, well, we got 1 kill there. That was for Argyle, right? We got to have one kill to ensure victory here. I just looked up at the power bar too, and victory is hardly assured. I'm seeing peasants and lower level troops, but they must have more troops somewhere. Kill this guy. Whatever you guys do, don't help me. It'd be nice if you could tell a division protect me, and anytime the enemy got even remotely close to you, they just fucking charge. Rah! Look at, we're stacking bodies up on these stairs, right, as the enemy tries to get up here. And of course the front gate is covered. So it's a situation where the enemy has 3 access to us. Doesn't matter. They're scorched. Everywhere they attack us, they're scorched. And this battle's not over yet, of course. Look at this guy. Have you guys been tying guys up again and torturing them? I told you guys no torture. No torture. It's against the, you know, the Geneva Convention of 1084. These guys fucking look like they tortured that Imperial Malavliaton to death. Some savage motherfuckers here. I deplore torture. Also, by the way, I know sometimes the United States military, other countries have used torture, Guantanamo Bay and all that shit after 9/11. Well, these are rules we set by our own country. I think it's just incredibly despicable that we've quickly bypassed these rules of laws. I am a student of the laws of war and the jurisprudence of war and the Supreme Court cases in the 1860s and whatnot, especially during the Civil War. I've read a great book called Lincoln's Code, it's a little bit pithy, but it's also packed full of really interesting historical facts, but also the laws of war, right? Basically, what do you do? How do you treat people who are just helping with the war? In other words, the people who are not enlisted, but they're doing like partisanship wars, right? Whether it was Spain and Napoleon in the early 1800s, and a lot of them, of course, he had executed. And of course, in the American Civil War, it happened all up and through the Missouri area and all the bushwhackers and fucking the nasty shit that was going on there between the 2 different partisan sides during the Civil War. And they were trying to figure out laws, essentially, for how to deal with these combatants. For a long time, they just executed them as rebels and treasonous criminals before eventually the sides were like, well, wait a minute, you're just going to be, these people are just protecting to fight to protect their land here. You can't just execute them. You must treat them like they're a prisoner, right? Like they're a soldier, and that way they're afforded things like, they can still be in prison, but kick this fucking guy right off the ramparts. This is our fucking castle, you bitch. That way they're afforded things like a trial and a prisoner, even if it was shitty, at least a prisoner of war camp. You couldn't just execute the guys. And of course, in the 1860s, there was still torture being used pretty regularly. And the United States, passed a series of different laws. The South, of course, was like, fuck you, all these laws benefit you guys. Fuck those laws. But in any case, they got a lot of different countries to sort of agree and ratify these laws. In fact, a lot of the countries in Europe picked up the laws and added them to their law books. A little hold on this little history lesson here. They're pouring through archers through the gate, so we've got to help them here. I've got this infantry archer division next to me, but I don't see them shooting. That tells me that there's not that many archers left here, right? We can charge at these guys here. In fact, it looks like it's mostly infantry. But I've moved my square to the side here, right? You don't need those guys getting shot from outside. Make the archers come to you, right? You're the one with the castle. They're forced to come in here, and these guys can just charge. These are all infantry. I won't charge them out the gate, but we'll definitely charge these guys at the entrance to the gate here. Fucking assholes trying to shoot our guys. You know, so by the late 1880s, 1870s, 80s in America, it was illegal to torture people, even to acquire information for your army, et cetera, et cetera. Well, fast forward to the wars of the Philippines and whatnot. Of course, American imperialism, we were expanding all over the place, telling countries, what's up? Right? You're going to fucking do capitalism or feel the wrath. And there was insurgents in the Philippines in some of the wars with Spain. Of course, it's complicated, but part of those areas were essentially owned by Spain. And the United States was routinely committing torture to these guys to like learn where the insurgents were. Of course, the insurgents were committing guerrilla warfare just like Spain in the 1810s. And Napoleon had those guys executed as well. Guerrilla war, basically guerrilla war its origin is a Spanish term. La guerrilla is basically the small war or a little war, and that's what guerrilla warfare basically means, right? You're having, you're doing little ambush attacks and shit like that, and sort of fighting in the shadows of the war, right? Well, major armies that are winning don't like guerrilla warfare because obviously it frustrates their efforts to win, right? If you have the big force and you're like, yeah, come fight us in a pitched battle, and the other side is just doing nothing but guerrilla warfare, obviously it's a major disadvantage to, and it destroyed Napoleon in the 1810 invasion of Spain, 1808 to 12 invasion of Spain. And there's a famous saying, I can't remember who said it, but basically it's Spain is a country where small armies are defeated and large armies starve because the surrounding hills and slopes and whatnot is so arid. It's not easy to grow crops, or at least it wasn't easy to grow crops in Spain. So it was a little bit of a defense mechanism for Spain, in that it was very difficult to invade Spain with a large army. It was hard to keep supplies up to date. It was hard to deal with all the different channels and mountainsides and stuff like that. A little bit like the Afghanistan area. It was easy for insurgents to make attacks, ambush caravans, ambush supply trains, and then vanish, right? These guerrillas would vanish, and they were instrumental in defeating Napoleon, even though obviously they had no chance of winning open field battles. So in the early 1900s in the Philippines, the United States Army was committing horrific atrocities, basically openly, brazenly torturing the Philippine insurgents in clear violation of the rules they just made. So again, it's a real tragedy. That torture has been a part of the United States history, especially since we literally wrote the book that said torture is illegal, and obviously torture is forbidden by the Geneva Convention as well, even though we have Guantanamo Bay, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't hate my country. I just hate some of the things we've done, and I think that's a very important distinction. This is supposed to be a civilized world. We don't fucking torture people. We don't even... It is a head. That's just a fucking head laying on the ground. We don't torture people, right? That's just a basic civilized thing. And like I said, it's a real shame that continues to exist in this era. Of course, we still have war. To me, the whole fucking invasion of... Oh, shit. It is a problem here. There's yelling and screaming. I don't know if you guys could hear it. You probably couldn't hear it over me talking, but I got a problem here. There's a massive invasion. It looks like they were rallying troops at the foots of those ladders, and they just poured in like 100 troops. So hold all the history lessons. Let's go to war, boys. No torturing, but you guys can kill everything in sight. Join them with my little tiny pathetic 60 weapon skill, 20 damage. I'm going to hack this guy to death. Yeah, you want some of this? 77. She does 77 on an unarmored peasant. It's not a good sign. And look at it. You see me running every time. That's because she can get cut down so easy. This is a problem. They're starting to eat up our archers up there. So the 8th is charging here. These archers are shooting, which is good. And those melee units are down there plowing the road. But obviously keeping these archers protected is paramount for this strategy. If I lose half these archers up here, we could definitely still lose this siege. So Priority number 1, regain this walkway. I mean, holy fuck. This looks like a Halloween haunted house. Look at all these bodies. I mean, that is just incredible. It's carpeted with the dead. Oh, shit. They are rallying troops. There's fucking purple Battanian Fiend champs up here. Motherfuckers, this is our castle. Mata's getting bloody here in her first command. I gotta get up there, though. The enemy's fucking pushing in on our archers. Keep an eye on the front gate, too. This castle defense is on the edge of a knife right now. I've got to borrow some troops here. It looks like I have 150 troops at tops. And the power bars are pretty close, right? This keep siege can still go either way here. I guess I better hold my history lessons and focus on this battle. I have a hard time not focusing on this stairway. Look at this fucking shit. You can't see the stairs. It's just bodies heaped as high as they can. God damn. Well, we're back up here with the 8th Corps. There's 12 archers and 9 infantry. That's going to work. We're going to be able to defend this. Kill this last guy. Here you go, boys. And we still have a good 50 archers up here, maybe 60. Bringing these guys over as well. This division, these guys should be able to help. That'll give us more crossfire on that location. And I can take a deep breath because I think we're okay. In fact, the enemy is fleeing. You have won the battle. Man, that is exhilarating. The day is ours, she says with a raspy female voice. And Mata takes over successful reigns here of command in our campaign. Man, always feel a little bit relieved and exhausted after a castle siege like this. This was gnarly. I know I mixed in a lot of historical anecdotes. Sometimes my mind just whirs, right? Look at the skills she gained. She gained 200 siege points in this battle. So Mata very quickly is trying to take up the mantle occupied by Wazu in this campaign. And this was sort of intentional the whole way along, right? I was concerned Wazu might actually die in the fast-forwarding process of this. And then, of course, I was concerned he was going to live to 97. I want this campaign to move on with some new companions, some new storylines, and some twists and turns. So we're going to end, I think, with the beautiful fucking vision of this city. Although I guess we got to go through the loot and stuff like that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a screenshot. I never subject you fellas to this. I like to have screenshots for some of the thumbnails for videos. So I'm just going to do this real quick. You sort of get to see some of the inner workings of the channel. I'm going to take a little screenshot. Click. Okay, I have that now, and now I can throw a little bit of text to that so that you guys see that probably as the intro to this episode. That was a fantastic siege defense. That was really enjoyable for me. Hopefully you guys learned some stuff from that. Hopefully that was as interesting and as thrilling for you guys as it was for me, because it was close. There was a lot of necessary sort of jostling, and it was like a chess game that has 110 moves, right, where there's just tons of maneuvering, and it seems like a marathon, but a marathon in a good way, right? I mean, there was no assurity of victory there. That definitely could have gone either way. The enemy fought hard, almost to the last man, but ultimately we are victorious here. So we're going to take some congratulatory prisoners here, catch our breath a little bit. I think we'll hide. Oh, here we go. Here's some beautiful loot. Legendary Menavleon, right? So the Menavleon, we're going to use that on one of our companions coming up for sure. That's going to be a savage polearm. And some other unspectacular items, but, you know, honestly, anytime you can get a tier 6 legendary piece of gear, get a lot of autosave here, you've done well with your loot. And there's 3 guys left of their army. Those must be the 3 or 10 cowards or whatever that escaped. I'm gonna chase them down here, although I'm very reticent to leave the castle. It looks like this other guy's coming in to attack him. Again, they look stunned like a duck. Sometimes when they have 10, they just sit there. They don't try to run. Maybe that's because they know death is certain. I think I just looked down. It's been about 55 minutes. We're gonna start to wrap this episode up. We are gonna go to Danustica here. Hopefully, it doesn't get besieged before we get there. We are going to heal up. We're going to start distributing troops to these new companions. I got to figure out our companion situation. I guess that guy left. He didn't think much of our rampaging and setting a fire to Danustica. Maybe that's the city he grew up in. But fuck him, right? He's not in charge. We got some new companions here. Destor the Bull. It's a bummer because he was a leveling medical companion, and he's gone. We'll add these other companions to the party here and continue on with this campaign, right? Independence is soon. What is this shit? Regrouping still. Where is she? She's not available right now. This feels fucking nefarious. She has a reputation for being cruel. Look at her. She does not look like someone you want to have dinner with. It says she's a fugitive. That's very strange. So she's just missing this whole time. The Jarl dies and she's missing the whole time. I mean, color me suspicious, right? What else can I say? We knew she wanted power. We knew she didn't like the Jarl, and here she is. The Jarl dies, and then she's missing. She's a prime suspect, right? As the police would say. All right, well, we're going to wrap this episode up. You can see we're starting to expand here a little bit, although we still only have one city and one castle. The Aserai are definitely making some inroads north, even though the south is a disaster. Of course, if you want to see more from this campaign, you want to subscribe, fellas, please leave comments and all that good stuff. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. And I will see you, fellas, next time.